Because a lot of my work is based around the high street and public spaces, I felt as though having a greater understanding of the people who spend time in these environments would help develop my work. As well as this, I'm under the impression that everyone's opinion is of great value to me in this naive point in my life, and so I began interviewing people around me who I would never usually have conversations with. Have you lived in Falmouth, or do you live in Falmouth?
2.5 years.
Okay.
I'm from South London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I moved down. My brother lives down here.
Okay.
He's been down here for about 12 years, and I moved down. Our parents passed away, so my brother said, "Come, move down to Cornwall."
And how does it compare to London?
Oh, very different. Yeah, a bit of a culture shock when I first came down. Everything is so slow. Like South London, it's like it's a rat race. It's rushing around. But down here, so slow. So many dogs as well.
Can I ask what you do for a living?
I work in Wilkinson's.
Okay.
Down the road here, part time.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
Nice.
I enjoy it.
What did you do when you lived in London?
Well, for 30 years I was a bingo caller.
A bingo caller?
Yeah, a bingo caller for 30 years, yeah.
What are the best bingo lines?
Oh, there's so many of them. I won't go into them now, some of them are a bit rude.
Really?
So,
Give me one, come on.
Yeah, no, I won't go there.
Okay.
I don't want to put it on camera.
Do you miss being a bingo caller?
Not really, no. It's because when I first started, it was in 1982, and it's changed a lot since then. It's it's all about money, and I'm glad I'm not still in it now because all the clubs are closed during lockdown, and
of course.
people being furloughed. Sorry.
No worries. What are you up to today?
Just been shopping
Nice.
and then I'll go home.
Are you from Falmouth?
I originally come from Birmingham, but I moved down here about 9 years ago.
So you've been here for a long time. Has it changed a lot?
Yes, because the shops aren't open anymore.
It's because of coronavirus or because they've closed down for
They've
good?
closed down. The Marks and Spencer's closed down. That was a big...
Yeah. How do you think the high street should adapt to that?
Well, there's not really much for... I mean, we've got the small shops, but whether they will stay open when, as from next week, what shops will open, I don't know.
I've heard a plan on Cornwall Live to put a gym and pool hub in place where the Marks and Spencer's used to be. Do you think that's a good idea?
No. I've heard it's supposed to be retail at the bottom, and I think perhaps that's at the top.
Would that be better, do you think?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing for anyone to see in Falmouth. If you're on holiday, you've got the harbour, yes, and cafes, but we hardly need many more cafes. That's all we seem to have. It's cafes.
Can I ask what you do for a living?
I'm an engineer.
An engineer. What kind of things do you engineer?
Electronics and electrical systems on yachts.
Okay. Have you always lived in Falmouth? Or do you live in Falmouth?
No, since 1999 though, yeah.
The year I was born. How has it changed since 99?
Well, we've got the university now, obviously, and that's been very good for the town, so it's kept it alive. More, it could get a bit more dead in the winter, etc., but it's much more than a tourist town. So
Okay.
yeah, it's made a big difference.
Do you think the town high street is healthy right now in terms of economy?
No, you can see all the shops with the closing down sales, but that's, you know, to a certain extent, some of that was happening before COVID. COVID's been
Yeah.
devastating in general for retail shopping, but I mean, for instance, Marks and Spencer's closed before COVID, so that's, you know, that's sad. That's a really important shop to have on the high street.
What moves do you think could be made in terms of retail or holding property on the high street that could bring more footfall for boutiques?
It's a good question because everyone's sort of, the whole of retail has changed dramatically. Online shopping is now the thing that people do by default. So they're forced to do that, but now they've got used to it because there's probably some people that don't do anything online that have had to in COVID, so that's very challenging for shops, you know, here on the high street to come back from. So I think the market is much more now places like Falmouth for, you know, slightly quirky shops, artisan shops, people that are doing sort of craft-based, skill-based stuff. Just sort of regular high street shops are going to struggle, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to recover. And I think it's going to look different, you know, in 2 years' time. Hopefully COVID's behind us. I think, you know, you'll see a different... Oh, excuse me.
What advice would you give to the young of Falmouth?
Oh, don't really know. Definitely go to university. That's about it. You know.
What are your opinions on the young?
Oh, they're much better behaved than they are in South London.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You get your... Now, because I live above the cafe over there.
Okay.
And sometimes when the pub's open, you get a bit of noise, you know. I've seen people fighting out here late at night, you know, kids fighting one another. But that's teenagers for you, isn't it?
What advice would you give to teenagers?
Work hard. Learn your trade if you want, you know, if you're if that's what you want, whatever you do, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Would you give that same advice to your younger self?
I would. If I had my time over again, I mean, hindsight's such a lovely thing. I think I would do things different. Yeah. Maybe learn a trade of some sort, you know. But I've got to go.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No, that's no problem.
Bye.
On the telly.
Maybe on.
Don't really know.
Hello. I made a booking for 12:30. Is that possible, or is that just a mistake? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't say that on your website. It happily, very, very good website. It happily allowed me to book for 12:30. Yes. Well, I was surprised, but I thought, oh well, if I can book it, you must be up. Yeah, could you do that? Or I can do it online. This lady's just...
You go ahead, no worries.
Okay.
What would you define as success?
Oh, that's a hard one. What's success? Oh, I think it's more emotional. You know, yeah, money's good, but if you haven't got your health or anything like that, then it's not really much good, is it?
So, what do you think of the youth today, and do you think they've changed for the better or for the worse?
Worse. I don't think a lot of them have got respect. A lot of the youths. They take everything for granted. Personally, I think the era I lived in was far better than now. You know.
And why is that?
Well, Well, it was safer for a start. I mean, yeah, there's always been weird men about, but you know, I'd very often come home from a pub at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and not worried about who was going to be walking behind me. Knives and guns, and drugs. No, sorry.
Do you think the reliance on technology has anything to do with our lack of respect?
Well, that's all people seem to do is sit on their phones, or there's no conversation really, is there? It's all done by text, and gone are the days where people sent letters and that sort of thing, you know. But I lived through the 60s and I think that was far better.
I love I love what the 60s looked like. How were they? Can you describe it in a sentence?
It was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And yet half the clothes that are coming out, like what you've got on now, is 60s. So
Yeah.
most of the clothes anyway are 60s, like coming back.
There was a lot of rise of drug use in the 70s, but now you say the drugs are affecting the youth badly. Do you think it was the same in the 70s?
My girls can't believe that I never took any kind of drugs in the 60s, but no, I did not.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So it was a lot less prevalent then, even though it seemed like the drug era.
Yeah.